Hello everybody, my name is Devin with HDpiano.com, and in today's lesson we're going to be taking a look at Every Breath You Take by The Police, a classic, a bit of a creepy classic if you will, from 1983. We'll be looking at the main riff in this video, so that's that guitar part translated to the piano, and it looks a little something like this. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so that's 8 measures, but that same pattern, more or less, will get us through the intro, which we just played, as well as all of the verses and the outro that kind of repeats and fades. So we'll be learning all that in this video, but over at HDpiano.com, we'll go over the chorus, the bridge, the interlude, and I'll also include a, kind of like a performance tips video, something to address any concerns you might have if you're like, well, I'm playing with a band. I don't want to play the guitar part exactly. I'll talk about ways we can interpret this piece a little bit less literally and kind of have fun with it in a more pianistic way, moving around the keyboard, learning the chords as opposed to the riff, etc. So all that over at HDpiano.com, so I hope you can join me there after this. Now, before I dive in, I have a quick question, a bit of a spin on the traditional celebrity crush idea. This song kind of flips that idea on its head. This is the case of the celebrity having a crush on somebody, right? So Sting obviously has the hots for somebody and, wrote quite a lovely, albeit creepy song about that. So who would you pick to write this song about you? Which celebrity would you want this song to be written by if it were about you? Comment below with your thoughts. Now let's dive in. We're in the key of A major. This is the key that it is performed in, and I think this is also the key that it was recorded in, but you'll notice that if you play along with the recording, it's not going to sound that good because the recording is about a quarter step flat of A and a quarter step sharp of A flat. So it's right in between those two keys. But A is more of a guitar key anyways, so we're going to be learning it like that, and that's what you'll see them play it in on YouTube in various live performances. So we're in A major, and our first chord is A major, and we have this riff for 2 measures. So let's take the left hand out of the equation for a little bit and look at the right hand. Right, it's very luscious and nice when played with the pedal down. So we have A, E, B, E, C sharp. Those are our only notes, and then B, E, B. Right, so a lot of large jumps. It's intervals of fifths. The first interval is a fifth, another fifth, down a fifth, up a sixth, down to B, down a fifth, up a fifth, right? Lots of fifths going on. So let's take away the pedal now and play it at a nice slow speed. So 3 and 4 and. Now notice my fingering here. Start with the thumb, land on the pinky here at B, and then I'm going to bring my thumb up to this E to make everything more comfortable in this section, and then our final note played with the pinky so that we can stretch back down and grab it with the thumb. So that's our first chord. Let's add the bass line, which is just an octave below. By the way, middle C is here, so we're very low on the keyboard. This is the kind of literal key of the guitar. Now, if your keyboard is a little too short, too stout, you can play this up the octave. But it just kind of takes on a bit more of a, it sounds a little too naive up there. I don't know, there's something low and kind of creepy and muddy down here. But the trick is, when we play it down here, we have to play nice and light, otherwise it can become pretty overbearing. So, first 2 measures on loop. Here we go. 3 and 4 and. Right, so notice I'm playing it very staccato, but very light. And I'm trying to keep a very consistent attack on each note because it's very obvious when you kind of slip and one note becomes louder than the other. Something like this. Right? I mean, I'm over dramatizing here, but we want to keep every note even so that it just sounds like this luscious pad. All right, so pause and practice if necessary. This song is at 115 beats per minute, more or less. So you can start nice and slow, maybe half that, maybe 60, 70 BPM, and slowly work your way up to the recorded tempo. All right, our next chord is F sharp minor. We have the same pattern in the right hand with the notes F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, and A natural. So there's our notes there. Let's do it nice and slow. 3 and 4 and. So we're just a minor third lower, but already you can see how obvious it is when the left hand is inconsistent. It's very easy for those notes to jump out. So we have to have a very kind of metered approach to each note. All right, so we've got 4 measures down at this point, and there are really only 2 measures left. That's D major and E major. But you'll notice the pattern is slightly different in the right hand. So what's going on? We start with the same phrase, but here, instead of going up, we go down to D. And then all the way down, back up. So D, A, E, A, D, A, D, A. One more time. Now same pattern, up a whole step. E, B, F sharp, E, E, B, F sharp, B, E, B, E, B. All right, add the left hand. Up a whole step. Back down to A. All right, so let's do the whole 8 measure intro, nice and slow, from start to finish. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Going down to F sharp minor. Oops, oh, I shouldn't speak and play. Let me try that again. 3 and 4. Down to F sharp. Up to D. Up to E. Down to A. Every breath you take. Right? So there is the intro leading into the verse. Now, in the first and second verse, the first repetition, or rather the first 8-bar phrase, will end on F sharp minor instead of A major. So let's pretend we just finished the intro and now we're going into the verse. We already know these parts. It's just kind of a puzzle, switching out the final 2 measures of A for F sharp minor. So every breath you take. Down to F sharp. Up to D. E. Back to F sharp. Big jump. Back to A. And another verse. Oops. Here we go. A. Now the verse continues, and we end with A major at the end of that second 8-measure phrase, and then we go into the chorus, which we'll be getting to in the next video. So I think all that's really left here is for me to kind of play through it. I'll do the entire intro and verse at more or less recorded speed, so you can play along. All right, here we go. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4. Into the verse. Pardon me. Second round. Whoops. Every time I speak, I screwed up. Anyways, starting at the second round there. 1, 2, A major. And we end that phrase in A major, and then we're into the chorus. All right, my friends, great work thus far. I do hope to see you over at hdpiano.com to learn the rest and talk about other ways that we can interpret this piece if you don't want to be so literal. My name is Devin, and while I have you here, if you could subscribe here on YouTube, like and subscribe, and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. That way you'll know about all of the upcoming lessons. All right, we'll talk to you guys soon.